Hey y'all. So, the movie I've chosen is based on loosely on true events in Indiana, what's known to be one of the worst cases in history. And it's also based on this movie is actually based on a book by Jack Ketchum's. The movie that is called that, and this is not the 2004 comedy. This is the horror movie, The Girl Next Door. See, inspired by actual events. Okay, let's start with. Jeez, and I just looked up the real deal. Let's start with we're going to talk about the movie, then we're going to talk about the real life events, and then we're going to talk about a little bit later another movie that is kind of like this one, but it's more based on what is like 100% the truth. Well, about 90%. This is like probably 80 something. Okay, but let's see. It stars Blanche Baker as Ruth Chandler, the aunt in the movie that watches the two girls and has 3 sons. Then there's a Blythe. I cannot say her name. Blythe Arf, yeah, as Meg Laughlin, and then Daniel Monch as David, the neighborhood kid that you can tell has a crush the entire time on Meg. It takes place in Indiana in 1958. The two girls, Meg and Susan. Susan is played by Madeline Taylor. Their parents died in a car wreck and are being taken in by their Aunt Ruth. And of course, there are 3 cousins that are boys. As you can tell in the movie, that the mom, that's my dog. The mom has some mental stable issues, and in this movie, she tries to be the cool mom. She smokes around that kind of stuff was no big deal back in the day. Smokes around the kids and lets other neighborhood boys come in and drink and do whatever they want. And the girls, she doesn't exactly show that same any type of respect. Not that type. I mean, any type of respect. Pretty much calling them names, being rude to them. And if one of the boys were to just hit the girls, she would say, "Oh, don't do it like that. Do it like this. Do it harder. Do it worse." And that was pretty wrong, messed up. But later on, she just kind of, I guess you say, had it with one of the girls. The girl, which one was it? Meg, she takes her and puts her down in the basement because she actually refuses for them to beat her little sister, and which I don't blame her. That's kind of wrong because the sister has polio. So she defends her sister and pretty much says, "Fine, put me in the basement." They put her in the basement, and they do the most ungodly things you could ever think of. They've tied her up by her wrists, and she's pretty much just hanging there the entire time. I mean, she's raped, she's burnt with a needle, and then one of the worst, scariest, saddest horror movies I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not kidding. For example, the worst scene that I have ever seen in this movie, and yes, I will spoil some things. They take a blowtorch and they pretty much burn her entire crotch. Yes. And it is like one of the most, because the entire time you're watching this film, you feel this person's pain, like as if you're actually there. It's not just your run-of-the-mill saw or screams or anything like this, because this actually happened, and you feel like you're there. You feel this person's pain the entire time, and you feel sad. That's just pretty much how I felt. That's just me. But if you don't feel anything, then you don't feel anything. It's no big deal. It's just a movie. They burnt her with cigarettes, they did all that type of stuff, but one of the coolest quotes I think I have even said that I've ever heard in a horror movie is, "It's what you do last that really counts." And usually, they use threats or something that are little big quotes, but that, I thought, that really actually stuck with me, because I kind of think that actually is true. Because at one point, David doesn't really do anything, he doesn't help, because he's scared. But then at the end, he actually steals, her necklace that Ruth stole from her aunt, and says, "Here's your necklace." And as this girl is taking her last breaths of life, he keeps apologizing and apologizing. She says, "No, it's what you do last that really counts." And that really, that I just started crying. But it's a good movie. I cried. I'm not gonna lie. I've watched it with my guy friends, and they were like telling me to turn it off, because it was just that torturous, that sad, that depressing. But yeah, this is one movie I really wanted to talk about, and I'm not really enjoying. I'm glad to talk about it, but it's just one of those I'm not excited to talk about like I was with my last ones that you saw, because this is this is something that really happened, and it really saddened me. And I'm sure it's made some other people sad as well. Okay, now what we're gonna, like I said, check the movie out. You might want a box of tissues. I'm not kidding. People may think that horror movies don't make you cry. Well, I beg to differ. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the actual story. Like I said, the movie, 1958, Indiana, two girls, Meg and Susan Laughlin, the boy David, was trying to help them out the entire time. Now let's move on to the true story. Wow. Okay, give me a sec. The true story actually does take place in 1965, not 1958. This entire thing is based on the murder and torture of Sylvia Likens, and with her sister Jenny Likens as well. Their parents worked in a worked with the carnival, and they moved about 14 times around the entire United States. But the thing is, they kind of wanted somewhere their daughters to be stable. One place they moved to in Indiana, they were already starting to make friends and everything, and one of their friends' parents were like, "Yeah, I'll watch your kids for $20 a month." What was it? I think it was 20 months a week. I'm sorry, a week. And the lady who took them in was not their aunt. It was actually just one of their friend's parents. And this lady had too many damn problems. She had 7 kids. She had failed marriages. She was suffering from depression, stress, and all that type of stuff. And she kind of had nothing. Like, literally nothing. She was just babysitting, as far as I know. And if any of the kids acted bad, which a lot of times they didn't, like Sylvia and her sister mainly, then she would beat them with paddles. If she did not get her check in the mail right when she was supposed to, she'd beat them. Let's move on to a bit more of what this lady did. I wrote all of that. Okay, they went to, because at first it started off all nice and cool, because, they had the girl, like, I think it was, like, maybe 3 or 4 boys, yeah, it was, like, 3 girls, 4 boys that, Gertrude had. Alright, the Likens were accused of rumors calling Stephanie and Paula, Gertrude's two oldest kids, prostitutes, but that they didn't do that, and that was just pretty much Stephanie and Paula starting shit. And it supposedly caused Coy Hubbard, it was Stephanie's boyfriend, to actually attack the Liken girls. Like I said, we're going to cover the true events now, and then a movie I'm going to recommend. Of course, I'm going to recommend this one, but there's another one. And then Gertrude would, take her anger out on Sylvia mostly, falsely accusing her of stealing candy that she bought from a store and a bathing suit. And on 2 occasions, she actually made her shove a Coke bottle somewhere you don't want it. As a female, one place you do not want it. Yeah, twice. And then she would pretty much she had a teenager, Gertrude had older kids and some younger kids as well. She actually allowed the neighborhood kids to come over and burn cigarettes on her. And then she let her 10-year-old actually carve "I'm a prostitute and proud" on Sylvia Likens' stomach. And a number 3 on her chest. I don't know why. And at one point she actually just made her consume her own urine and feces in the basement that she pretty much kept her in. And she wouldn't let her go to school, she wouldn't let her do anything. Later on, she actually, Sylvia Likens died of brain hemorrhage, shock, and malnutrition. Stephanie and her boyfriend Richard Hobbs tried to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, but it was already too late because she was already dead. Okay. Let's see. A couple of her kids, they went to trial and everything, and all the youngest kids, I think 3 of them got off easy, went to juvenile, and that's it. The second oldest, Stephanie, went to jail for 2 years, but then got out. And then the oldest actually went to jail for 20 years, then got out. As far as I know, both of them tried to do teaching jobs and try to change their name, but once the school board found out what their real names were and about the cases and everything, they were immediately fired. Let's see, Gertrude tried to change her name as well, but it failed, and she actually died. Everyone here is pretty much dead. Let's see. Is there something I'm missing? I cannot let this run too long. Okay, like I said, movie's great. I enjoyed it. It's based on true events. But there's another one that actually, if you like the girl from Juno, I cannot think of her name, and she's been in several other movies. She is in this movie called An American Crime, and it is about what I just talked about, the actual events. And it's a very good movie. You should check that one out as well. If you're into, like, the real story type, this one, it was pretty there. Except she had mostly sons and not daughters. But other than that, if I miss something or you want me to talk about something, then tell me. Like I said, this movie, it had me in tears. I give this a 9.8 out of 10. I recommend it to anyone who wants to just learn about true events or that just likes horror movies. This movie will make you actually feel something. Like I said, it's no B movie. It's nothing crappy like that. Not like Scream, not like Saw or anything. It's just real life. What the hell? But this movie review is done. I don't think I'm going to be doing a live show tonight. But as far as all that, y'all take care.